$216 from Atomic Smash that says, I got you, Cart. Dang, Atomic Smash. Thanks. I really appreciate it. And $200 from Anonymous, who says, the marble with the screaming man inside told me to listen to Spaghetti Western. So be it. Well, I appreciate that. You should maybe talk to someone about it. But you know what? Thank you so much again for your donation. We've got $25 from Paxis. Hey, GDQ, longtime viewer and donator, want to donate some more, so take my money and just keep up the good work for a good cause. Love to all involved in this. Shout outs to the BBV community, and like always, greetings from Germany. All right, I hope you guys are ready. You're about to see some 900s, ollies, kick flips. I'm a skateboarder. I'm not a poser, I promise. Coming up, we've got Evolution Skateboarding, Arcade All Missions, Solid Snake with Partyman X.
Hey, I'm Partyman X, and this is Evolution Skateboarding. With me, I've got...
Hi, I'm SecksWrecks.
And yeah, so this run we're going to be doing Arcade All Missions. So we've got a number of very recognizable skaters here. We've got, everyone knows Colin McKay, Frogger, this dude, Simon Belmont, Vampire Killer, this other dude, Gorilla, Raiden, Unknown, and most importantly, we've got Solid Snake. So with each character, you get a different set of levels, where that's kind of why Solid Snake is the category rather than just kind of a thing we're doing. And yeah, without any further ado, let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. So to kind of explain a little more what arcade mode is, if you're familiar with the early Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, it's basically those career modes. You're basically the proverbial dog in the dog agility course, going through all the obstacles, kind of tackling them as they come up. And SecksWrecks, if you wouldn't mind explaining where people might recognize this level.
Yeah, so if you played Metal Gear Solid 2, some of the versions, I'm not super sure on which all of them had it, but there was basically a demo for this where you could play as Snake on this level, which is, of course, the setting of the Metal Gear Solid 2 story, which is being slightly altered for the purposes of this. As you can see, these bombs that you might remember spraying with the freezing gas to disable, Snake is going around and enabling. It doesn't make much sense exactly what his motives are here, other than to grind and shred and do sweet tricks.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all that's important here. Just, skate and destroying.
Yeah, nothing says living life like skating and destroying, and collecting dog tags, and what are some of the other ones? You have to grind for a set distance in this level.
Yep, we have to get a score of, I think, just 8,000 points. That's pretty easy. And yeah, forget if there's anything else. At this point, it's kind of autopilot for me. It's just like, I don't know, I hit the points and
the game happens. And then, so here is kind of similar to where you'd fight Fat Man, and then Snake blows up the oil rig. Not really sure what his motivation for that was. I'm pretty sure like the president's still hostage on it or something. It's been a while since I played Metal Gear Solid 2. But just a few more collectibles to pick up, and then we'll be done with this level.
Yeah, and just like that, we can just go right to stage select. So, while that's kind of what this game's known for, it's got a bit more to it, just coming up in a second. While we're kind of waiting to see what goes on, I should explain. So, this game, while on paper it's like Tony Hawk, while you're actually playing it, the physics are something closer to like if you're familiar with Top Skater or Street Skater, like it's just very rigid, not necessarily what you want. And yeah, now we're in Castlevania.
Yeah, and as you might have seen come up there on the bottom of the screen, it's playing some music from the games, which unfortunately, to avoid record labels making GDQ cry bloody tears for playing the licensed tracks later on, we have to mute that. But so here we are skating around the castle, smashing some glass windows, doing some more grinding. And this one introduces the photographer goals, which is where you need to do a combo within a certain radius of these skate photographers. But it's not so simple, because if you skate in between the radius of two different photographers, it'll activate both of them and disable their radius while only counting as one, and kind of leave you high and dry on the mission. So it wouldn't be Castlevania without fighting Dracula. So it's time to do that. And as you know how it goes when you're skateboarding and you're fighting Dracula, you just gotta ram into a bunch of skeletons. So that's just what we're doing here.
You'll notice me doing a little technique where I hit a quarter pipe and get a disproportionate amount of air. Something this game does, I think, to kind of simulate pumping on transition as one might do on a skateboard. When you release the ollie button going up a quarter pipe, it just gives you a massive speed boost. So I'm just kind of mashing X and getting way too much air, as this game is really trying to spite me here.
Oh, these skeletons are kind of hitting you with the wombo combo a little bit.
Yeah, so something about this game is that sometimes, like when you're tasked to destroy something, if you run into it, it just kind of doesn't work. Which, it's kind of important that things work sometimes. Like out there, it just, for some reason, did no damage twice in a row. There we go.
So now we got the last phase of the boss. Everyone's fan favorite, the 25-foot tall Home Depot skeleton. From everyone's favorite Castlevania games, starring Vampire Killer, not any specific named Belmont or anything.
No. Perhaps Konami was scared of receiving legal action from Konami and had to make it legally distinct. So we killed Dracula now, and I think it's about time that we go on a little vacation.
Catch a little
So
sun.
next level, yeah. Next level, we get Aegean Sea. Just get a little European extreme for all the Metal Gear fans out there. And while this loading screen never ends, I think we can get a donation or two.
Absolutely. We've got $10 from Mom, who says, time to party briefly to celebrate for first 750K, nearly there, and then to keep up the good work of raising funds for Doctors Without Borders by speedrunners. Good luck, runners. Thanks to all for organizing and continuing to put the international gaming community to work in this way. Thanks, Mom.
All right. So this level's pretty straightforward. We're just going around doing the things, except we see our first instance of a checkpoint goal, which is a bit more rigid than you ever saw in the Tony Hawk games. You have to collect these checkpoints in order. Really contributes to the dog agility course nature of this. So we're just going to grind along this ledge as we get a very good demonstration of why this game's physics are not good. So we have to kind of dance close to the edge of all these ledges. Got to hit a power slide there to extend our hitbox upward so we can get that collectible. Game's treating me pretty well. It's probably feeling bad for the early game. Also, we have the only trick spot in Snake's mission set, where we have to do a little stall on that ramp. We're gonna ride off the edge of there, but that's no worry. We can just launch just like that. Oh, we hit the wall before we went over it, so let's try that again. And there we go. Just like that. Just gotta get over here, get our hidden collectible and final regular collectible.
That hidden collectible can be a little bit of a pain to jump to. It's kind of far out there. It's not the worst hidden collectible to get to, but it's definitely not easy.
No. It's kind of funny that they call it the hidden collectible when it's just kind of in space. Pretty easy to see. And now we're entering our first boss fight, or first real boss fight. These are levels that every skater's arcade level set includes in the same order. And I'm just gonna let it introduce itself.
Yeah, so it's the weapon to surpass Metal Gear, the truck that hits public transit. And in order to beat this first real boss of the game, you kind of have to grind on these little rails along the side of it and damage them enough to get it to basically crash. You're going around causing collateral damage here, and this is Philadelphia, right?
Yep. Yeah, so kind of missed a quick kill there by not fully damaging the first rail we came across, but still we're going to try to do as much damage as quick as possible as collision has the time. Oop, oop. All right, we have a less than optimal setup of stuff we have left to grind off. As you can see, the truck will speed up at certain times based off of how many rails you've grinded thus far. Happens at, I think, 2, 4, and then 5. So that was the last time it speeds up because we have 1 rail left. Those traffic cars can be a real nuisance. I'm imagining they're going to be very painful here, or not. No, we're good. That was a pretty decent go at that. But yeah, those traffic cars can kind of juggle you, which is a nightmare. So
yeah, and now that
we escaped.
Yeah, we've escaped the
relatively unscathed.
And, you know, people might be recognizing the typeface used in this game, but it's not just any Comic Sans. Isn't that right, Party Man?
Oh, yes. So, something sort of interesting about this game. It was developed by Konami Computer Entertainment Osaka. They did some of the Bimani arcade to console ports, such as Beatmania and Poppin' Music. Strangely, they didn't do the DDR one, despite that variant of Comic Sans, I'm pretty sure came from the original console releases of DDR. And speaking of that game, fans of other Konami properties will be very happy to know that this game does in fact include a reference to Silent Hill, the Christmas song from Dance Dance Revolution.
So yeah, we're in the Snow City. I don't remember the exact name of this, and we must save Christmas by releasing Santa Claus, who is stuck in that chimney. They must have paid a lot of money to Coke for the license for that likeness. But we're also smashing some snowmen that kids probably worked hard to build, doing a bunch of tricks for these photographers, you know, just the normal stuff.
So if you haven't heard yet, there's an announcer to this game that is much too enthusiastic for what this game is. But there are a few weird lines that he says, so I tried to show off the Primo stall, which the announcer pronounces as Primo Stool. And there's another one coming up here as I launch off this ramp. Yeah, it calls grab, tuck, knee, grab, tack, knee. So if you're wondering where the A from Primo stall went, that's where it went.
And there's a few other ones that the announcer says a little funny. There's like a trick they made up, and then just in general, a little over enthusiastic, but also a little unreliable as to whether or not they'll actually announce each trick.
Yeah, he's just kind of full of things to say, so kind of he interrupts himself. But yeah, so as SecksWrecks alluded to, there's a trick that most people would know as the board slide or lip slide, but Konami has just decided to rename it the disaster slide, which is not a trick. So now we're headed into the past, I guess. Going to the Wild West. Just going to cause a ruckus. So I want to be careful to grind this rail far enough that I don't go into one filmer's radius and accidentally softlock myself. And speaking of bugs like that, we'll see if we can get a bug to occur that is pretty rare, and I just found out about the other day, where sometimes you can just fly out of a level. We're just gonna try this a couple more times. It just happens by grinding around that little, I don't even know what this is.
Trough, I guess. Oh, so close there. When you fall off this corner, you kind of just go right through the ground and fall forever, and it's rather amusing. Thankfully, there's a timeout where you don't fall actually forever. So clearly, the devs knew that this was something that could happen and put in protections for it. So other than smashing that awning we did at the start, we're going around and smashing these giant barrels of bourbon, generally pissing off all of the residents of this town. Because Snake is apparently a teetotaler, not something I was aware, and I think goes against established canon.
Yeah, I'd find that a little surprising considering just everything going on the MGS4 install screen, but...
And there we also...
Snake contains multitudes.
Yeah, we also destroyed the town's water supply just in case we weren't causing enough of a ruckus. Taking Skate and Destroy to whole new levels here in the Old West.
Now we're about to come up on probably the most annoying jump in the game, as we go on top of Western Bar here. Alright, we gotta get this last checkpoint. We're going a little slow. This might actually make it a bit easier, but we gotta jump out to that hidden collectible.
Oh.
And we didn't have enough speed.
Thankfully,
so
there's
we're going to...
a decent amount of time left on the clock here, and we should be able to pull this out.
Okay, we're going a little slow again, but we'll see how this goes.
There it is.
Nope, not quite. Okay. So we're going to have to actually go off of this quarter pipe on the deck here. That should get us the speed to properly do this, and I gotta get ready to mash. There it is. And now on to the final goal level. After all of the complete chaos in how these levels are designed, we just go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, back to Philly.
Seems a little anticlimactic, but you know, that's just how this game rolls. I think we can sneak in another donation.
Absolutely. We've got $25 from Silver Beagle, who says, Party Man X, do a kickflip.
All right, we'll see if I can do that while we try to show something off here. There's a little kickflip for you. All right, so something I haven't really touched on is this game's very deep, very complicated combo system. So I can just kind of go forever. I didn't quite get it, and I'm not sure I want to spend the time doing it, but the score that you can get during a combo maxes out at 99,999, which is kind of weird, considering how easy it is to do it. But hey, whatever.
So naturally here in Philadelphia, Snake has to collect P-balls, as you do when you're in Philly.
Yeah, After all, we are outside of at least a school, probably.
50-50
And
grind.
he is
Keep it going.
maxing and relaxing, all cool.
Though we're the ones who are up to no good, I guess. So
That was sweet.
Yeah, smashing these garbage cans, those really help keep a city clean and, you know, cut down on pests like rats and whatnot. So, like, Snake is really up to a lot of no good in this game.
alright, so we're going to go for something pretty difficult sometimes. Oh, as we fly off of a rail. There's a filmer behind a wall that just we can still activate the filmer while behind this wall, so we're going to get some of the best skateboarding footage ever created, and just make him film a wall, really.
At least he'll hear
There
it,
we go.
probably.
Just going for an art film kind of thing in their skate video. Alright, going to destroy this last trash can here and collect our last basketballs. As I try to maneuver Snake through this. Oop, barely didn't make that jump. Alright, and now just get this last hidden collectible. This one is probably the worst one in the game. Like, seriously, who's looking there for it? It's the only one that's, like, truly hidden. It took me probably an hour or two to get that the first time, casually playing through this. And then again when I was figuring out how to route this. So, that's not so good. And now we're going into the final boss. Hopefully you didn't get spoiled there, because it's another odd one.
Yeah, you could say that. It's actually a little reminiscent of a boss you might recognize from Metal Gear Solid 1. It's the tank fight. Except instead of Alaska, we are here in Tokyo. You know, they took a few liberties with adapting this tank fight to this game.
Yeah, so we gotta grind on the sides and the barrel to do damage to this tank. Something that kind of helps you out, makes you go through this quicker, is to grind on the sides and then the barrel to just get a little bit more damage in during one go at them. Plus, you can, like, when you destroy a side, you don't really do damage on that side, or not much damage, so it's no use just doing the same thing over and over. And I should note, once this fight's over, time is coming up. This is a warning.
Yeah, and pretty similar to the Vulcan Raven fight. You know, they're throwing grenades out of the tank at you, and you gotta avoid those. And getting hit by the grenades can be pretty devastating.
Sometimes they just come at you too, so it's scary. It's going scary well, so there's something bad happening very soon, I can assure you. Alright, we should be good with one more grind. And time.
Wow, that was wow. And we didn't really do much because we still destroyed that pizza store. But I guess whoever was driving the tank is probably dead, which might be a good thing. You never really know with all the damage Snake has done during this run.
Yeah. But anyway, let's just check that we did in fact get everything. So if we did, yep, we got the extreme route. I just disabled the audio for the game for the Comic Sans credits that you cannot disable the copyrighted music on. So, yeah, that was Evolution Skateboarding. Special thanks to, want to shout out Midwest Speed Fest. Want to shout out my co-commentator, SecksWrecks.
Thank you. I'd like to shout
Shout
out
out to you, the viewer.
yeah, you the viewers. I'd like to shout out Racer Trash and Kojima, whose name does appear in these credits. I think we might not make it all the way to them because they're kind of long, kind of slow moving. There's a lot going on here, but you just gotta love this low contrast yellow on brown Comic Sans.
Just truly ending on an excellent note. But yeah, on that excellent note, that's been Evolution Skateboarding. So, peace.
Chat, I want y'all to give one more round of applause for that fantastic run of Evolution Skateboarding. They killed Dracula, they killed Vulcan Raven, and they did some sweet tricks along the way. That was some sick skate footy. Just gonna throw it out there. You're watching, if you didn't know somehow, you're watching Summer Games Done Quick 2021 online, powered by Twitch. And I have got some fantastic donations that you guys sent in. We've got $15 from Iggy Zig, my favorite host. Did y'all hear him start the silly block with Untitled Goose Game 8 hours ago? He did incredible. He says, Snake, the mission is a failure. Do a kickflip right now. Well, I'm not Snake, and the skateboarding is over, but hold on. Yep, I did it. I promise I did it. It's real. $15 from Fenry. I need that Slime Rancher merch. You know what? You do need that. Everyone needs that Slime Rancher merch. Have you seen it? We got a lot of prizes that you can win with just a minimum donation. For $15, you qualify for the Slime Rancher Collector's Edition. For $10, you qualify for the Slime Rancher Slimepedia. That and a whole bunch more you would qualify for all the way up until the end of X-Men 2 Clone Wars Any Percent, which is coming up not too long from now. I'm going to update you guys real quick on the Alt F4 background music bid war. I did play favorites here. I told y'all all about that I really want Spaghetti Western to win just because, you know, listen, I'm broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia, and the most Western state of all. And so it's winning right now with $596 compared to Medieval Circus's $402. We do have $75 from Jennifer, who says, sorry, Cartridge, putting this towards Medieval Circus. May the best Alt F4 music win. Okay, I think there's a war. There's a war on, y'all. And I don't know. I'm still rooting for my rootin' tootin' cowboys, you know. $50 from Snaxel. Shout out to Street Skater on PS1. Spent many hours screaming at the screen because it was like controlling a fridge. Rat out, dude. Thank you so much, Snaxel. I think I played Street Skater. I think it was bad. $50 from Kurogamo. Silly block is best block. And another 50 from Sven. It's been a week of great runs for a great cause so far. Let's keep it rolling to the big finish. I like the keep it rolling. Did y'all get it? Because I don't know if you've noticed, there's a bunch of vehicle games. Don't worry, you're gonna